Hey everyone, this is Mike with Indian Motorcycle Des Moines. So today we're going to be going over the 2021 Indian Challenger. So let's get to it. So before we kind of get going today, if you could kind of do us a favor and hit the subscribe button right down here for us. That way you can kind of keep up to date on happenings at the store, different new bike videos that are coming out. We really appreciate it. So with that, let's kind of, we can start going over the 2021 Challenger. So this is the base model Challenger for 2021. Comes in the matte finish color this year for the dark gray. And if you're not familiar with the Challenger, this bike came out in 2020. Features their new Power Plus engine. It's 108 cubic inch, so a little bit smaller displacement than what the Thunderstroke motor has on it. But since it's a water-cooled engine, it's going to have a lot more power than what an air oil-cooled motor is going to be able to put out, just because of the lower operating temps. You can get higher compression ratios, a lot tighter tolerances with it. Bike's fuel injected. The base model has a lot of the same stuff on it as what the Dark Horse or the Limited has. It just doesn't have some of the upgraded features. So it's going to come with a locking saddlebag with it. Now it doesn't have the remote locks with it. That's something that goes on the Dark Horse or the Limited version, but it still has a lockable with a key. Also has the infotainment screen on it, their ride command system. So it's got everything that the big bikes or the Limited and the Dark Horse has, except it just doesn't have the navigation, which the navigation can be added into it. And also has ABS brakes on it. Comes standard equipment on the bike. The bike has ability, you can, if you go up with the Dark Horse or the Limited version, you get a traction control system that's kind of like an extra add-on. Does come with inverted forks on the front and Brembo brakes. So if you guys aren't familiar with this stuff at all, so inverted forks, motocross stuff, been using it for a long time, sport bikes, Brembo brakes on it, and these are radial mount calipers. So kind of the advantage of the radial mount caliper is how it's mounted. It doesn't move at all on the bike, on the fork tube. And then with having that setup, they can have pistons on both sides of the brake rotor. So when you hit the brakes, it's squeezing that brake disc from both sides, unlike a standard, you know, where the one side's stationary and it's just pushing up against it. So this one here is squeezing it from both sides. So stopping power on this thing's amazing. And the bike handles great as well. And hopefully later on this year we can do a couple test ride videos. So today it's like 15 degrees outside, so it kind of sucks doing a test ride video when it's this cold out. It's got the exhaust kind of comes out the same way as like the Thunderstroke motors. It's got the two pipes that come into a catalytic converter, and then it splits off and goes into one pipe underneath each bag on it. Now there are some aftermarket exhaust systems where there's a true dual system, or you can also go with like a 2-in-1 system on it. All right, so the next thing I kind of want to show you on the Challenger bike is kind of like the rider's cockpit area, you know, your dash, your screen and stuff. So this has the up-down windshield on it, just like comes standard on the other models on the big bikes for the Indians. So go max up, about 3 inches max down. Now you can hold the button down and let go and it'll stop, or you can hit it twice in one direction and it'll go all the way down or up without having to hold the button down for it. So you can bump that button, get your hand back on the control, and not have to worry about it. Now on your display here, right now we got the audio pulled up, and you can change the source on there. So you got FM, AM, weather, USB cable, which I'll show you where that's located at in a minute. Or you can Bluetooth a device or your phone to the bike to play music through. So like if you got XM radio app on your phone and you want to listen to XM, you can Bluetooth it to the bike and you're all set to go. So on your audio, you got a few different controls on there that you can play with also. That's on the switch on the control switch housing. And if you did hit the navigation, since this bike doesn't have navigation, it's going to get the warning that it doesn't have it on that. Contact the dealer. Now, you can add that for about $500 to get the navigation added to the bike. But your other controls on here, this screen here lets you add a device or control like your phone or a device that's Bluetooth to the bike. On the road, it's got different pages of different information, so you can have different layouts with different info pulled up on there, and you can adjust that, change the layout how you'd like. So if you want to move something over, you can just drop and drag and save it, and you're good to go. Similar gauges for your speedo and your tack up on the front. One change they did do for this year, so in 2020 the power button was located down here. So for 2021 they moved the power button up on the control switch housing, and they replaced it with a 12-volt power outlet. So it's pretty convenient. So if you want to charge your bike up with a battery charger, you can plug it in right there. Or if you have like a thermal suit, a riding suit, if you need a power source for, it's located out right there for you. And then they moved the start button or power button is located up here on the handlebar. So the last thing I wanted to touch on here is the ride modes. So if you hit the little drop down on this, you got your ride modes. So you got rain, standard, sport mode. So standard mode's where you're riding most of the time, but if you wanted a little bit less traction on it, you can drop down to rain mode. So you're riding in a wet condition, you're kind of worried about tire slippage, you can flip it to rain mode. Also, you have the sport mode setting, which is kind of all this stuff's doing is just changing kind of the fuel delivery and the timing on it, just to give you a little bit more power on the throttle. Now it does have a couple little nice storage spaces on it. So on each side of the fairing, you got this little cubby in here. So quite a bit of room back in there. This side has a USB cable in it. So right now it's got a flash drive plugged into it. But if you wanted to charge a phone off of it, you can, or use it to play music with like a iPod or something. We got the key stored in there. And right below that, it's kind of hidden, but this is actually where the gas release is at for the gas cap. So this kind of got a really nice locking gas cap on it. And you'll just hit that button there to release the lock for the gas cap. And on the left-hand side of the bike, it still has a storage space on there, but just doesn't have a cable in there. So nice storage room in there. So that is kind of the 2021 Challenger base model. Like I said earlier, if you go up like to the Challenger Dark Horse model, you gain the traction control system that Indian has for it, lockable bags with the remote lock off the key fob, blacked out finishes on the bike. And then if you go up to the limited model, it's going to have all that same stuff, except for they do a chrome appearance package on it, so the blacked out. It's also going to have the bag filler strips that kind of go in between the bags, saddlebags, and the fenders. And then it also comes stock with the engine guard bar, which you can add engine guard bar to this one or a Dark Horse if you wanted to. So that's kind of all the things on the Indian Challenger for now. Hopefully we can get some nice weather here in a month or two, and maybe get out on the road and do another video. So until next time, we'll see you later. Thanks for joining.